On a multi-pitch climb, we want to extend away from the anchor on terrain that has fall risk. How do we do it? Hello everyone, I'm Jason. A few weeks ago, we did a video that showed some options for extending ourselves away from an anchor point on moderate terrain with very little fall risk. In essence, we may want to move back towards the climb away from the anchor so that we can better communicate with and maybe see our following climber as we bring them up a multi-pitch climb. After all, pretty much all climbing communication is about having both parties know what is about to happen, such as putting someone on or taking someone off belay, before it actually happens.
Timing.
So improving communication can be very worthwhile. Well, in that video, we assumed that the risk of a fall as the lead climber moves out and away from the anchor is pretty close to non-existent. Well, what do we do if a fall risk is very real? Here's one method, as explained in Marc Chauvin and Rob Coppolillo's The Mountain Guide Manual. If you're interested, you can learn a bunch and help Marc and Rob's family by purchasing this incredible resource. There's a link in the description. After getting our anchor built, we want to add in 2 locking carabiner connection points. One is for the lead climber and the other is for the following climber. Now, as the lead, we can take the rope coming from our harness, clip it through one master point, and then clip it back through another locking carabiner we add to our harness. It helps to add a half twist to this connection back at our harness, as that will help us turn it into a clove hitch later. One more clip as we take the rope and continue it through the second locker that we have at the anchor. Note that we are still on belay. So we can back away from the anchor being tensioned by the belay until we reach the stance position we want that allows us to communicate more easily down the route. At this point, we take the rope that is running into that locker we added to our harness and fix it with a clove hitch. There are options on how to do this. If we have enough stance that we can unweight the rope a little, we can call for slack. Now, the fastest option is to simply add in our second half twist and complete the clove, clipping through our harness locker like we would a quick draw. If opening that connection point makes you uncomfortable, another option is to take a larger locking carabiner, add it to our harness, thread it through the same existing half twist, and now add in the second half twist and complete the clove hitch on only the new, larger locker. We can now take out the original locker. If we don't have enough stance to call for slack, then we have to create our own. We can grab the strand coming from our tie-in, as well as the strand coming from the first carabiner at the anchor, and wrap a friction hitch over both strands. A Klemmheis works well for this. This also immediately adds in a method for us to work our way back to the anchor, as you'll see. But we are now tied into the anchor and ready to come off belay. The rope coming from the clove and heading back to the second rope via the second carabiner on the anchor is what becomes our belay line. We add in our device at our harness and belay from there. The second will now come up to the anchor. Once the second has arrived, they can clove in or clip into the anchor directly. Now the lead has to get back to the anchor too. The second can belay the leader back to the anchor using the rope going from the first anchor carabiner and going to the lead's tie-in end, which may be the best option if the lead is going to also lead the next pitch, as they just need to exchange gear and the lead is already on belay. Or the lead can approach the anchor using that existing friction hitch, if we use that method when making our harness clove hitch, or by adding a friction hitch now over the tie-in strand and the strand that's heading into, not out of, the harness clove hitch. Both strands are pulled through as we make upward progress. Got a story of a route where being back from the anchor was either great or would have been a good idea? You can tell us about it in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. You can check out that video we mentioned about extending away from the anchor when a fall is not a significant risk, or you can check out our entire rock climbing safety series. We'll see you next week and keep on getting more out of that big outside.